The year is 1066. On the battlefield of Hastings, the Saxon age falls, and a new ruler rises, William of Normandy, a man who will forever be remembered as William the Conqueror. The Normans are here, and they're bringing with them a new language, a new system of rule, and a completely new vision of what it means to be a king. This is the story of the Norman kings, a saga of castles and crowns, of rebellion and reform, the very foundation of medieval England. After the victory at Hastings, William the First marched across a defeated land. He wasted no time crushing any resistance, systematically replacing the old Saxon nobles with loyal Norman lords. All across the country, magnificent castles like the Tower of London and Warwick Castle began to rise, their stone walls a constant, intimidating reminder of who was now in charge. In 1086, William ordered something truly unprecedented, a vast survey known as the Domesday Book. This was an astonishingly detailed record of every single village, field, and even animal in his new kingdom. It was an act of both administrative genius and absolute tyranny. Suddenly, England was the most efficiently governed realm in Europe, but William's rule was far from easy. Rebellions flared up, especially in the north, leading to the brutal harrying of the north, where entire villages were burned to the ground to stamp out dissent. When William died in 1087, it said his body was so large it burst the coffin, a strangely symbolic end for a king who seemed too big for even his own world. Next came William's son, William the Second, known as Rufus for his fiery red hair and equally fiery temper. He was arrogant, aggressive, and had a talent for making enemies. He taxed the nobles heavily and constantly fought with the church, angering pretty much everyone in a position of power. His reign came to a sudden and mysterious end in the year 1100. While hunting in the New Forest, an arrow struck him dead. Was it a tragic accident or something more sinister? We'll never know for sure, but his younger brother, Henry, seized the moment without hesitation. Henry I, the youngest son of the Conqueror, took the throne with remarkable speed and cunning. One of his first acts was to issue the Charter of Liberties, a promise to rule justly and put an end to the tyrannical excesses of his brother, Rufus. Henry was a builder, not of castles, but of government. He created a centralized administration, expanded the royal courts to bring justice across the land, and strengthened the treasury at Winchester, making the crown incredibly wealthy. He also made a politically savvy marriage to Matilda of Scotland, a descendant of the old Saxon kings, uniting the Norman and Saxon bloodlines. But his carefully laid plans were shattered by tragedy. His only legitimate son and heir, William Adelin, drowned in the horrifying White Ship disaster of 1120. Heartbroken but determined, Henry named his daughter, Empress Matilda, as his heir, a bold and unprecedented choice in a world where a queen ruling in her own right was unthinkable. When Henry died in 1135, his nephew, Stephen of Blois, broke his sacred oath to support Matilda and seize the crown for himself. This betrayal plunged England into nearly 2 decades of brutal civil war known as the Anarchy. Law and order completely collapsed. Ambitious barons built their own castles and fought for power, creating their own little kingdoms. Towns were burned, the countryside was ravaged, and one chronicler famously wrote that it seemed as if Christ and his saints slept. At times, Matilda's forces gained the upper hand, even capturing Stephen himself, but she could never quite secure the lasting support she needed to be crowned queen. Finally, in 1153, a peace was brokered. A weary Stephen agreed to name Matilda's son, the young and dynamic Henry, as his successor, ending the chaos. The Norman dynasty completely transformed England. They built over 700 castles, many of which still stand today. They replaced English with Norman French as the language of the court and government, and in doing so, they began the process of fusing two distinct peoples into one single powerful nation. By the time Henry II took the throne in 1154, the foundation had been laid. England was stronger, wealthier, and ready to expand its influence across the Channel. The sword of conquest had forged the very structure of a kingdom that would endure for centuries to come. From William's iron-fisted rule to the chaos of the anarchy, the Norman kings left a mark on England that can still be seen today in stone, in law, and in the very lineage of its people. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more stories from history. In our next episode, we meet the Plantagenets, a dynasty of legendary warriors, brilliant reformers, and bitter rivals whose epic battles for power would echo across the entire medieval world. You won't want to miss it.